We are live on Facebook.
In living
Welcome.
color.
In living color. I don't know. I'm wearing black and white, but living color for Mickey. She's wearing red. And Joe is here and she's dressed in rainbows.
Yeah, we both did our rainbow thing today, and you're in black and white.
Yeah. And I felt like I'm wearing my Herkimer diamond. I love my Herkimer.
Yes. Oh,
Love it. Love it.
oh,
Was given to me by a Reiki master teacher that was she helped me with distant healing Reiki, and just a lovely soul. So she gave
great.
this to me. Beautiful.
That is quite a trophy.
Thank you. And it's like it's a Herkimer with silver wrappings, and
Yes, that's
isn't
nice.
that pretty?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's very nice.
Lot of energy in it. I wish it was a little shorter, but yeah, I'll have to
My favorite
change.
is the one that's cut with the 12 faceted sides. I can't think of the name of it.
Oh my. It is
It'll come to us later on.
it will. It will, because
something-
I have one too. It's
Yeah.
mine's got, I think mine has 13 sides.
It would be the only uneven number of it.
I'd have to count them. It is oh my gosh, why can't I think of that? It's a
Vogel.
what?
Vogel.
Vogel, yes, a Vogel crystal. Yes, that's it.
Yes.
Well, hello, Audrey and Susan. They're both on Facebook.
Hello. Hi.
Waving and saying hello. Hello, ladies. And anybody that pops in here, please let us know you're there. And I don't know, we're going to do some fun things today. So oh, look at you.
That kind of day.
Cranberry juice?
It's grape, pineapple, and lemonade.
Oh, that sounds good. I'm just doing water, smart water. Yeah.
I almost did the same water. I said, I wanted some flavor in it.
Yeah. So how are you doing, Mickey, on this? So just to let everybody know, it is the day before the full moon.
Right.
Because tomorrow I have a dentist appointment during our normal time. So we decided to do it today. So, but everything we'll be talking about, and is really about tomorrow's full moon. It is a time to cleanse your crystals, put them out where the moon can reach them. So it's a very cleansing time, a clearing time. Put your water out, especially if you have a blue glass bottle, and make moon water. I love doing that. You can also make sun water the same way. But this is the first full moon of August. So yes. August, I don't know if it's the 30th or the 31st, but we are having a blue moon at the end of the month. So
that's very good.
It is. And this is the full moon in Aquarius. So what do you think, Mickey?
Well, the fact that it's Aquarius means that, of course, it'll be a lot of electrical energy. The energy part of it will be very apparent, if you know what I mean. And it'll have a certain logic, a certain lack of a lot of emotion, even though it's the moon. The sun part of it is much more dominant, I think, when it's the full moon than when it's, the new moon. But that may or may not have any basis in actual astrological thought. It's just how I feel it. But this particular time, it literally comes on the heels of that new moon we just set up weeks ago. And I'm hoping that each of you out there will have something you can refer to in your memory about how you've been feeling about the things you set in motion on the new moon, the intentions that you released. And if not particularly that, the fact that there are maybe lessons, karmic or spiritual lessons or whatever kind of lessons, but there have been some little things released, and they've been released one after another in my experience. So I'm really set it back on my heels by some of it. And to give a very short little example, I've had terrible success with getting gardening done or making a garden or having little boys in the neighborhood that would come and cut the grass for me. And I've worn out 4 sets of little boys who come and do that over a period of 2 summers. And now this summer, it was just dire. I could not find anyone. And then I went into my creation chamber and I said, okay, that's it. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to obsess about it because it'll get me all upset. I don't want my blood pressure to go up. Do something. It's yours. I said it to all the probable self. Hey, here, you handle it. I'm not going to even look at it again. Well, the next thing I know, literally the next day, 3 little boys came to the door and said, lady, would you like your lawn cut? And they were none of the ones I knew about. So I was very happy about it. We had a lovely time. I gave them all kinds of treats. They just think I'm the fairy godmother now. Wow, we want to cut her lawn again. But over the period of the next 5 days, every one of the previous little boy sets that I had lost, quote unquote, have all come back, including one that I told to go away, keep the change, and don't ever come back here again. He showed up on the doorstep having forgotten that I had banished him. He was all helpful and everything. And I felt guilty. I questioned whether it was really a part of the intention. I said, well, how would I have set that up? I don't ever want to see him again. But I had felt guilty about banishing him. Well, he's just a kid, but he had a real nasty attitude. So I thought I'll be generous. I will not try to be I'll try not to be judgmental. If he came to the door and he's part of this resurgence that's coming, I will accede to it and see and play this out and see. So I gave him an option. And when the day came for him to show up for the option, he didn't show up. So I felt vindicated. I felt, well, at least I learned not to hold the, my judgmentalness. Mm-hmm. And I was released from the obligation of having to deal with him again, because now I truly don't want anything to do with him. And I thought, am I not being spiritual about this? But I think that the lesson in it was to allow, in the case of the problem that was at hand, all the different sides of it, all the previous ways of handling it, everything was put right. And now I have 2 really nice sets of folks who will come and do that, So I thought about all of you and I said, I wonder what little things have maybe righted themselves that were kind of off kilter. Mm-hmm. And, what's anybody else's experience been with it? Because it has continued to be other people in my life too. One was a very declared enemy who just called me up and told me he couldn't tell me enough about what a lovely woman I was. So I'm shocked. So I want to know, with all the rest of you out there, what bread cast on the water is starting to come back,
Well, we invite everybody to type a little bit of something. And while you're thinking about and doing that, I'll tell you what happened with me. And I do want to shout out to Carol. Hi, Carol. She just popped in while you were telling your story, Mickey.
Okay.
So for me, when we were here last time, it was on the heels of my digestive problems. So I was feeling, a little bit better. And I wasn't sure I was even going to be able to do it, but I did it. And my intention was for healing those gut problems that I had. And I have been fine ever since. I've been fine. Now I'm still being gluten-free and I'm still putting that healing energies there, but I think it's really all behind me now. And I think I'm doing very well. And then while I was, so I went away this weekend. Carol and I were together. We went to Lilydale, and I really want to shout out to all my brand new Lilydale friends. God, I love you all. So Marianne and Debbie and Celeste and Joe and Dawn and Beck, no, not Becky. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. I didn't say her name right. who else was there? I mean, it was just, well, I met so many people this weekend. We watched a movie called The Spirit Rooms of Lilydale, and it was about the
Oh,
women's movement of getting the vote and the people that, did it. Mae West was a part of the movie, and
I didn't know that.
people dressed up in period costumes, and it was just such a nice time. And I will be going back with Carol on August 11th, and we are going to be doing a Victorian period parade. And
Oh.
now Carol said Brandy. I'm so sorry, Brandy. At least I had the B right, BR in there. Carol, if you can type a little bit about what this is. So they are on the National Registry for the suffragette movement and the right to vote for women. And I don't know. Carol did all, or at least most, 95% maybe, of all the research, making sure that everything was fact checked and everything was done proper. So she knows the exact stuff. I want to say 200 maybe were given out in the whole United States, and Lilydale was one of them. So, that's really quite amazing. And it was the Pomeroy Foundation, which I'm very familiar with because I tried to get a plaque for the Seth House, but the Seth House wasn't old enough. So I went through the process, and there's a lot of work to doing those. And, kudos to the Women's Day committee from Lilydale that put this all together. So I love it. So Carol Core, she says, yes, suffragette trail Pomeroy marker. Thanks for spreading the word. And I've been trying to think of how could we bring, I can't do it on Facebook because Facebook takes control and of everything, but I would love to be able to show this documentary to the people, but it can't be something that is just given to Facebook. So I would have to figure out how I can do it. And there's like, I think there's like a $10 charge that they have when they show it to people, but it's all donations so that they can do more good work. And it's wonderful. So
sounds very interesting.
right. So I've been, this was really nice for me. And, I got to be in a very healing spiritual place and out in the country. It's on a lake. It's just a beautiful, beautiful location. So everything that I had hoped for 2 weeks ago has come to fruition and more. It's been.
That's what I was sitting here thinking.
Oh yeah. Life is wonderful.
Your manifestation is coming out.
And even more than that, even in my personal life, I am more open now to receive relationships.
Adoration.
Yeah, I love it. Audrey, she said her intention was for her ex to become more mobile. He ended up in the ER, and they are sending him for physical therapy at a nursing home for 2 weeks, hoping all goes well. Well, we will send lots of love.
Oh, definitely.
Give us his first name, and we will send him good vibrations. I put a post on there as like, we're not really healers. We help other people find healing within themselves. And
facilitators.
Yes, that's really, we're channels, all of us. His name is
Light facilitators.
So love to Stephen for all the highest and best good for his well-being. And, we ask his source self to assist him in the very best. I love it. Thanks, Audrey, for putting that out there. So if anybody doesn't know about Lilydale, and I want to say, did I see I thought I saw my friend Lee. Yes, Lee is also on. Hi, Lee. Lee was in Lilydale 2 weeks ago. And
Oh,
so if anybody wants to join us for the parade, you don't have to dress up, but there's going to be floats on those little golf cart things. And
oh, yeah.
I believe I'm a walker. But you know, it should be a really, really nice day. So August
Interesting.
11th, and I think the parade starts at like 11 o'clock in the morning. And it walks from the Lyceum building to the auditorium.
That sounds very good.
I hope I got
It
this
should be
all right,
fun.
guys. I wrote none of this down. This is all from memory from what I went through the other day.
Well,
Oh,
it sounds interesting. I can remember going to the very first gay pride parade to Washington Square Park, the very first time. And
wow.
we took our daughter with us. She was only 6, but she marched every year. We would walk
Oh,
every year from to the village.
wonderful, wonderful.
Look how far that's all gone.
It has, yeah. Well,
It's a
thank you,
much bigger
Carol.
deal.
Carol said
Much
I did a
bigger.
good job. Because Carol's the one that has all the facts and figures. She knows all of this stuff. So
I hear that.
yeah, so I have, you know, I've heard it and, you know, I know that the information is correct because Carol looked it all up.
That's good.
All right. Joe, let me ask you, do you have anything from last time that you would like to share?
I just listened to it yesterday.
Oh, so you put new intentions out there.
I did put new intentions in it, and I'm like all over the place in my head, in my heart.
Okay, all right.
I don't know
Well,
where.
it's still the intention part of the cycle up until the full moon takes over. So, hey, you're
Well,
sliding in right under the wire.
I was working on manifesting,
Mhm.
but it has not
Come full circle yet,
not full circle.
but it's
I just-
coming.
Yeah, it hasn't finished manifesting, but it must be working on it.
Working. I'm really diligently working.
Yeah,
Well, I will say, don't work as hard.
exactly.
See that end result, whatever it is,
And then take your,
and then let it go. Trust that the universe is going to take care of it. Yeah.
yeah, don't think about it. Don't do anything else. Once you release it and say, here, do this.
Right.
You know,
Take
it's like, go fetch.
Right.
Awesome.
Now, one of the things that I did for my healing part of it during these 2-week period is I started doing grounding.
Yeah.
And you know, on the earth, yes, but I also bought indoor grounding things. Like I bought a grounding mat for my bed, and I have I have grounding flip-flops so that I don't hurt my little tootsies outside. I can walk. I don't have to worry about stepping on bees. So
Yeah.
so I think that the connection to the earth and the grounding is releasing a lot of inflammation that was in my body, which is causing the healing to happen. So, you know, and it's not like, you know, manifesting, we still have to take action to have things come
Well,
up.
it's an indication of how much you actually believe you're going to get what you wanted to have manifest. You know, you're behaving as if it is momentarily on the way. And
Right.
that's the key. That's
Yeah.
the fuel.
Or already there. Yeah.
All right. It's already there in some reality.
Okay. Now, Carol wrote, I wrote an intention at my, she said having, but I'm sure she means healing circle that evening. And last night I had a dream that I realized that intention in my life. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Excellent.
Yeah. And Carol's got a lovely healing circle that her and I think there might be 4 other women that all get together, I believe monthly, and they have healing intentions for people that ask or each other or the world or events. So, you know, Carol can elaborate a little bit more on that if she likes. But these 5 women or so are doing beautiful, wonderful work in our area. Thank you.
That's perfect.
I know we have such a good group of people. I love all of you.
Yes, I do too.
Oh,
It's kind of amazing.
It is.
And it just gets stronger and stronger. I like that.
I do too. And I am still in the healing room. I'm just facing the other way. So I'm looking at the brick wall this time. And
Right.
these are all books behind me that I still
Well, I like this view too.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, see that view, it was just too bright. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I sit here and I try to figure out what looks best, what doesn't. And it all depends. Like it's very sunny out there right now. So
That's great.
it
The
is.
sunlight into the room is a nice energy.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful day out there. Yeah.
We can the sunlight can propel us when we do our meditation.
Right, because the sunlight gives us all those positive ions that it just shoots
Exactly.
onto the earth. Then when we do the earthing and the connecting to the earth, it releases all of those free, what is it, free electrons, I guess, and
Yes.
it brings us to neutral, and that's such a beautiful place to be, in
It
that
is.
neutral place. And I've been there for 2 weeks now, and you know, whether it's sitting outside, as a matter of fact, Saturday it rained all day, so I didn't really go outside. I didn't really touch the earth. And then I drove home on Sunday. So of course, you know, I've got rubber tires and whatever.
Yeah.
2 days. And I did not feel myself last night and this morning. So this morning I'm outside, I'm on the grass, and it's already starting to make me feel normal again.
That's good.
So,
That's
yeah. So everybody,
good.
tomorrow night, well, so the full moon, I think, is like at
2 something.
2 in the afternoon.
In the afternoon, yes.
But tomorrow, anytime, go outside and when you can see the full moon, that's
Yeah, because it's building.
awesome.
Yeah.
It is. And kick your shoes off, you know,
Gathering light.
outside, be outside, or even on concrete is okay. Just don't have any rubber soles or plastic soles, you know, leather is good. But go out on your bare feet. It feels so good, and it's so good for us. Oh, Martin joined us. Howdy, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Martin.
Hi, Martin.
Wonderful. And I do want to say, like, Marianne from Lilydale, and she's a renowned medium there. She thanked me for what I was doing here and said what a good job Nikki and I are doing. You know, every month when we come together, that she tries to see it live. So if you're on, Marianne, thank you so much, because, you know, it helps us, it gives us motivation to keep going, to show up again. And this is like the biggest group we've had in quite some time. So thank you everyone for adding your energy, and Joe for adding it right here in the room. I love it.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
It
really
does make a difference. Yeah. So anybody else have any little stories that they'd like to tell about, you know, their intentions that they set for the new moon, and how has these 2 weeks been? Martin, do you have anything to add? I don't know. Well, if he does, I will break in. So what else should we know about? I mean, so this full moon is, you know, we're in Aquarius now, the time of Aquarius. So that is changes. This moon is very clearing. I think they call it the Sturgeon moon, which I'm
It's
not.
like a dedicated use of intellectual power.
Okay.
I know that sounds kind of cryptic, but that's quite literally stripped down what this is all about this time.
But intellectual power is very, very powerful.
It's the mind, yeah. And see, the mind, I know that's Mercury, but it's very different when it's Aquarian. The use of the mind in the case of the Aquarian symbol is, it's so universal. And that's another very Aquarian word, universal. It's so much about a long view, but it's a long view that is not hampered by an enormous weight of emotions.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. And that makes it have a kind of a little cold, you know, trip to it. But the thing was, the saying was, oh, everybody loves Aquarius. Yeah, but Aquarius doesn't love everybody.
Ah,
Like some-
and so,
It's
I,
cool.
I just thought about, I do these affirmations every day. And, one of the affirmations that I was doing, and it came from the Seth material, like the Seth material. I think
Yeah,
it was in chapter 13, maybe?
13.
And it says, I will only react to constructive suggestions, right? So,
Right.
and that's really what you're talking about. Mickey, when you did that with your fellas, you gave them another chance, and
Yes.
they could either use that chance to their benefit or their detriment. But
Yes.
you set the tone for, you were open, you
Yes.
let them make their own decision. You didn't make it for them. You didn't say, get out of here, I don't like you, whatever. So, and you taught them really good lessons on, forgiveness, non-judgment, and even though he chose not to come back, and he's probably written everything off, you've still sowed those seeds of how
Well,
a good person reacts to things or doesn't react to things.
yeah, one thing that I was stressing to myself through it all, one of my very best friends was very perturbed with me because one of them scammed me out of quite a bit of money. And
Mhm.
she wanted me to report it to the police. And I said, no, I'll put a notice in the neighborhood watch about it so other neighbors won't use him.
Right.
But I'm not going to go to the police and do that whole thing where it puts marks on the record and blah, 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 because it was a small enough thing in the grand scheme of the whole world. It wasn't a big deal. It didn't keep me from having food on the table. So my attitude was, if that is how he has decided to live this particular life, and this is how he's carrying himself, it doesn't have anything to do with me or how I'm choosing to carry myself. So he can go ahead and be whatever it is, and eventually the karma will work itself out. He will find out that there are other ways to do it. And these are all very young guys, so they've
Yeah.
got time for life's lessons. But in my own case, I don't want to be burdened by holding this angst and anger. In order to feel it, you're holding it inside. I don't want that. I don't need it.
Mhm.
So, however it resolves, I said, that's your problem. And so I had truly, truly, truly released it. There was no anger, no angst, no nothing.
Beautiful.
And sure enough, you get to see the thing turn around.
Mhm.
That was the beauty of it.
And
So
one of
I
the
learned a lesson.
and one of the young men was actually one that you had years ago that came back, and he's now
Yeah,
kind of helping to coach the younger generation.
that's well,
How to do it right.
one of the young lads had really been written off, and I was tired of trying to wait it out and be kind and blah, blah, blah. So I just wrote it off. And then one of the other little guys who came, evidently he was a brother or cousin to
Mhm.
that one. So when I let him come back and I was very nice to him, the next day I heard from the one that had been derelict in all this time. He'd been, for almost a year. So somehow there were things going on in the background. That's my point.
Yeah.
Is you don't know what things. I didn't even know the guy had spoken to him. I didn't
Mhm.
even know they were connected. But it turns out that being kind here to this guy had another thing happen because of what he said to one of the others.
I love that. That's like the ripples in the pond. And
Exactly.
we don't always know who we touch and how,
Exactly.
and how that works. And that's beautiful. Martin says increased awareness of his thoughts, like waking up in a dream and directing it. So Martin, you're
Oh,
doing some lucid dreaming. That is, so, there was a lot of talk like that at Lilydale this week and the week
ah,
before. Near-death experiences and lucid dreaming was a big focus when I was there. So that's awesome, Martin. Wonderful.
I am so green with envy. I've always wanted to do that. And it's one of the things I have not been able to be successful at.
It's
I
only
keep
happened
trying.
twice to me, twice.
Oh,
And it was, and I've tried to do it,
yeah.
intentionally. These were both, just spur of the moment. It just happened. And the realization when you're in the dream that, oh, this is a dream. I don't have to see this. I can do this. And it's like, poof, it all changes.
That's
Last
magnificent.
and 2 weeks ago, that poofing was a part of our meditation. I forgot about that. That isn't that weird? So we in when we're in our meditation room, when we're in our heart space, we can think anything and it will manifest in front of us
Right,
because we have all those tools at our
right.
ability, but we have them here on earth too.
Yes,
We
yes.
have it in this 3D place that we live. We just don't realize it.
Can you feel the power of the moment?
Yeah.
When we're together here, I used to think for a while, I just thought it was in my head, but I'm sitting here realizing
Yeah.
this is a lovely, powerful, peaceful, loving moment. And it's
It is.
wonderful. That whole time when we're meeting and these certain dedicated minds have come together with a certain intention.
Mhm.
We're trying to bring more light and we're doing it together, and I love it. I know it sounds very sentimental. Shoot me.
Um, I love it too. And we have a very special group, and that includes the people that aren't on the live broadcast, the ones that listen to it. You add the energy just as much. Carol said Lisa Williams, a famous medium, just sent out some preliminary exercises to set one up for lucid dreaming. She's going to forward that to
Oh,
me. Woo! We'll do some
wow.
lucid dreaming exercises. I love it. Audrey sent a heart, and Terry Von Marbod. You know Terry?
Oh, yes,
Here.
Terry. Hi,
She
Terry.
says, I love you, Mickey Lowe. Hi,
Oh,
Terry. It's
thank you,
nice to meet
Terry.
you.
She is a new friend of mine that I met through someone that I really, really, really adore, who has a fantastic magazine about all of this stuff, all
Oh,
this new age stuff.
you'll have to type the magazine.
Horizons.
Horizon.
Horizons magazine. It comes out
Okay.
of Florida, and it's fabulous. What, Terry? How old is it? I think she's been doing it at least 25 years. At least.
And she said hi. So,
Hi.
so if when she types that in, I'll definitely read it. That I welcome new people. I love that. She thinks it's 32 years old.
Yes, I think
Wow.
so. I knew it was at least 25 years.
Okay.
But
All right.
the Angela de Michaelis is just a legend in the industry. And that magazine is
I know that.
fantastic. I guess so. She's very much into Seth and all of that, but she publishes information about every facet of the New Age world. And I learn something every time,
I love
every
it.
time. But that's how I met Terry.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm so glad that I'm meeting you here today. We have a wonderful group of people. We were just going through a whole love fest.
Well, Terry needs to have a T-shirt that says, "I'm the grandmother of the prettiest little girl on the planet." So, I mean,
Nice.
so one
Very
day she may share a photo with us, but that is an adorable child.
Aw. She said,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you. Can you believe that we have already been on for 35 minutes? It feels like, I know, it feels like
Like 5.
just signed on.
5 minutes. Yeah.
I love it, love it, love it. Now, I haven't thought too much about the meditation at all. I don't know what spirit is going to bring through once we go into this meditation. So our intentions really are that it is about the new moon coming up, and that all of our intentions from 2 weeks ago are really coming to a head.
We're busy.
They
busy.
are, everything is working, like today is like, get the job done, get the job done, and
Well,
you know.
I keep getting that today is all about release.
Okay, well, and really that is what the full moon is, very cleansing, very releasing, and that happens tomorrow at, I think it's like 2:30 in the afternoon for New York time. So that would be 6:30-ish for you, Mickey?
About that, yes, about 6:30.
Yeah, and Mickey, for those that don't know, Mickey is in England.
Yeah, in West Yorkshire.
Yes, yes.
the
Is
north.
England have more than one time zone?
Not that I know of.
Okay, I didn't think so
When I
either.
think about it, no, not that I
Yeah.
know of.
Yeah, I
And what
didn't.
I'm thinking about is England may not, but Britain may have. So in other words,
Oh,
once you
right.
add in Scotland and Ireland and
Of course.
all of those places, there may be a 1 hour difference because as someone told me today, I'm not 1 hour from Scotland. I'm 3.5 to 4 hours away. So I'm further than I realized.
Oh, okay, but that's north of you, so that wouldn't change
Yes.
the time zone. And I think Ireland is the same as you, so.
I think so too.
Mhm. Terry said release gives relief.
Yes, it does.
Nice, nice. And we can all use a little bit of that, right?
Yes, indeed. I'm just so open now, in a different sense spiritually because I know that I have moved into a new agenda, a
Mhm.
whole new way of being and projecting and thinking and so forth. And it's kind of big to me because at this age, you don't think you're going to start out like when a teenager says, "Oh, I'm finally going to be grown." Well, I feel like at this age, I have suddenly become grown in another sense.
You're just a teenager. You're looking better and younger every time I see you, girl.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And you
But
know
this
what?
is
If you guys all saw us like 15 years ago, we both look like old ladies.
Yeah,
This is the greatest time of our life.
it's very interesting to me how this reversal is happening on a cellular level.
Mhm,
And I'm noticing odd things happen to reinforce that.
mhm.
And
You mean the
oh,
fact that you have no wrinkles at all and your skin is beautiful?
you leave me speechless. I
Oh,
went to the
please. I have eyes, Mickey. I can see it.
I went to the doctor last week, and at the end of the consultation, it was a specialist. And at the end of the consultation, she says, "I know this may sound strange, but do you mind if I take a selfie?" And I said, "Okay." And I didn't even ask why. But then she had just asked me how old I was. And when I told her, she said, "No, no, I mean your age." And I said, "Well, I'm 76.5." And she says, "No." So it may
Great.
be that that's why she took the picture. I
Yeah,
don't
I
I've
agree.
never had a doctor take my picture before.
Neither have I, but you know what? You look pretty darn good, Mickey. Pretty darn
Thank you,
good.
sweetheart.
All right.
You do too,
Oh, well,
especially
thank
with the shorter hair.
you. Yeah, I
I
didn't come,
love it.
and so 2 weeks I stayed with this. Yeah.
I love it though. It's so freeing. I love it.
Yes, I love it too. So Terry had to step away for a minute. She said hugs and kisses. She'll be right back.
Okay. All right.
But I do want to work our way into getting ready for this meditation. So
Right.
it's already, I mean, yeah, I cannot believe we've been on for so long. And I try to keep this to an hour, but if we go over, we go over. That's okay. I have
Well,
nothing to do today.
one of the times that we do this, I want us to go and do the thing we talked about of you go to your level, you establish that you've gotten there, and then you turn around and come back out, and then we go again. And if we can do 3 times in one session, I think it would be very, very, very helpful.
We can try that today. Why
Oh,
not? Why not? I mean,
okay.
I have no script. I just kind of I used to in the very beginning, I was actually reading, and
Yeah.
I like the journeys when they are more spirit led, and I
Mhm.
can have that intention that we go deep, deep, deep. and do it the 3 times. I have experienced those, and they are very effective. And then we can just see where that leads us. Okay.
Well, the last time that we do it, if we do it 3 times, then on the 3rd time, we could actually sit there for another moment or two, you know. But
Absolutely.
the first 2 will lead to the 3rd one being exceptionally deep.
Exactly. And what? Right. And I have to, so I'm going to let spirit decide what we do after that. So
Okay.
we'll plan on doing the 3 times in, and we'll see where spirit leads us.
Yeah,
Terry,
we'll extend the 3rd one.
yeah. So Terry, if you would just let us know when you're back, and we will start, but we'll just keep chit chatting a little bit until then.
Okay.
Right. Anybody that comes on, the meditation or the journey, I think it really is the most important part of what we do.
I
And,
agree.
and, we can meditate for so many reasons, but just to listen. Oh, she's back. Okay,
Okay.
good. Everybody's back. To just listen to what our soul self or the universe or God or Jesus, Buddha, whatever you think, listening, the Holy Spirit is another one.
Mhm.
Listen to that voice that is that all-knowing higher level self that is going to give you the messages and the direction that you need. I had a healing session, and before I go into my sessions, I always meditate. I ask, my source self and their source self, to guide me. And, do I need to know anything? And I was just given one word, right? And it meant nothing to me. And I had done it early in the morning. And by the time I was ready for the session, I kind of even forgot that spirit gave me this word. And as the client and I were talking, and she's getting ready to get on the table, she said the word and she described why it was important. And my mouth was just like, and then I told her that word was given to me in meditation. It had absolutely nothing to do with her healing. It was a confirmation for me that what I'm hearing is really spirit,
Right.
not my
Right.
own thoughts. So
Confirming your resonance.
absolutely. And I'd like to, just throw this out there. It has nothing to do with the meditation, but someone had said to me that everything, and I believe this because of Seth, everything has consciousness. So
Yeah.
if we're looking at something, so like this doll up here, that
I
is,
love that.
well, that's my shamanic doll. So I use that when I do distant shamanic work. And right, so it has sacred tobacco in its heart space, and so it's a beautiful doll. But anyway, when I look at this doll, right, I just had all those thoughts about it. Well, what if they weren't my thoughts, and
Right.
all was giving me that information? This
Right.
is what, so when I was at Lilydale, and Carol can attest to this, and it was kind of crazy. I was telling Carol about this, and I'm like, what a different way to think, that even inanimate objects have consciousness, and
Right.
that they're talking to us. So I said to her, and I'm like, and we were walking around, and I pointed to a fire hydrant, and I said, that fire hydrant just told me it's from Elmira.
Oh.
Right. So that's crazy. We're like 3 hours away from Elmira in this little town called Lilydale in Western New York. And Carol goes, it's a Kennedy valve fire hydrant. Kennedy valve is in Elmira, and it makes fire hydrants. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, it was just so real to me.
That's
That
wonderful.
fire hydrant told me it was from Elmira.
That's what I call an agreement.
It is. I thought
You
that's
know, when
so.
stuff
Right. So I'm
happens.
looking at things, and instead of having something that I think is my memory, I look at it as it's telling me its story, or it's telling me what, it
Yeah,
wants to know or hear or think about.
right.
And
Income.
Right. And when in meditation, spirit messages feel the same way. Like we think,
Yes.
everybody I know says, "Oh, meditating is so hard because my mind is so busy and I'm always thinking, thinking, thinking." Well, what if it's just spirit giving you stuff after stuff after stuff to see what it is
Right.
you're supposed to connect to?
I agree completely,
Right.
because I am learning more and more about how to tell the difference between your own thoughts and those that may be floating in from somewhere else, you
Right.
know.
Right.
So
Because as far as my personal experience, they all sound like my voice. On occasion, I hear a male voice or a different tone,
seldom.
but
I seldom hear it in the
for the most part, it's mine.
yeah,
And so deciphering or determining, is it my thought? Is it spirit's thought? And what if they're all spirit's thoughts, right? I mean, we're expansive beings living in this, smashed little meat suit of a human being. And they are memories from, could be past lives, could
yes,
be parallel selves. And like what Mickey said earlier about giving whatever she was worried about up to the higher self or the probable selves,
hmm,
and then just letting it go and
right.
letting the universe take care of things. And then she invited them in, and they then can make their own choices. But yeah, it's
It's
just,
amazing.
it really is when you think about it. All right, are we ready for meditation?
Yes, yes.
All right, okay. Oh, Martin said, before we move on, there was a golfer I read about who was very amused to discover that the golf course itself was communicating with him. Well, Carol, did you hear that? Start talking to the golf course or the golf ball or the tee or the club or whatever. That's awesome. And I'm sure that artists and inventors, I mean, they probably talk to and listen to all kinds of things, and that's why they come up with stuff. Musicians and artists, and it all comes from the spirit realm. I just embrace it and love it and thank it, be grateful. So let's everybody just settle into our places, and we are going to start our journey for this August full moon. So let's just get comfortable. Close your eyes. I'm going to take my glasses off. I don't need to see anything. Close your eyes, and we are going to use the 3 to 1 count, and we're going to go down into our heart space, into our meditation room. All right, so let's take a deep breath in and say and visualize 3, 3, 3, and another deep breath in, 2, 2, 2, and another deep breath in, 1, 1, 1. And now I want you to visualize the staircase, and we're going to walk down 7 steps. On the right hand side, there's a beautiful wooden rail that is smooth and warm wood, and there's carpeting on the steps. And I just want you to walk down these steps with me one at a time. 10, 9, going deeper and deeper. 8, 7, deeper. 6, 5, 4, deeper and deeper. 3, 2, 1. You are now at a deeper level of mind, and we are in our meditation room. And as we are standing in this room, we have decorated it in the past. And if you weren't at any of these past journeys, you can decorate this room any way you see fit. Just know that to the right, there is a door, and that's our quantum jumping door. And there should be some comfortable furniture to sit on or lay on, a recliner or a couch. There is a fireplace. It is always warm here. To the left, there is another door which goes into our lab, our creation room, where we have our TV screens and our refrigerators that hold our tools and our little health pills and whatever else we've created. There is also an elevator that goes up to our penthouse. So this little room has many facets to it, just like we do. And just enjoy this room. And just feel the warmth, the love, the joy, the peace that's here. Now, in a moment, I'm going to count to 3, and we're going to come out of this meditation. We're going to open our eyes, be wide awake, and then we're going to immediately go right back in again in a much quicker way. So I'm going to count, and we're going to wake up. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes, wide awake, feeling wonderful. Now close your eyes, and we're going to again do the 3 to 1 count, and we're going to go right into our meditation room. 3, 3, 3. 2, 2, 2. 1, 1, 1. And we find ourselves again in our meditation room, sitting on our couch or our chair, looking out the window, but in this very safe, warm space. And again, I am going to count to 3, and on the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes, be wide awake, feeling wonderful. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes, wide awake, feeling wonderful, better than before. And now, close your eyes again. And again, we're going to use the 3 to 1 count. Visualize and say to yourself, 3, 3, 3. 2, 2, 2. 1, 1, 1. And we find ourselves back in our meditation room. Safe. And this is a place where we can imagine, we can say to ourselves, we can think to ourselves, we can create anything that we can imagine. And this is a safe place that nobody joins us there. Nobody knows what's being said or thought about. This is completely your place. Now, I would like for you to just focus on the quantum door. And we're all going to go out that quantum door. And what's on the other side of that door is up to you. It could be the outdoors, could be a beach or a forest. It could be a city that you love to visit or want to visit. It could be the stars, could be the moon. This is all about the full moon and the energy, the Aquarian energy that is bringing in. We could be with the stars. We could imagine that it is a past life or a probable self or even a future life. So what's beyond that quantum door is entirely up to you. So I just want you to stand in front of that door right now and set your intention for what you are going to experience. And when we go through that door, I'm going to be silent for about 5 minutes so that you can experience whatever it is that your intention is, right? So we're still in that intentional setting of the past new moon, working up this energy to the full moon. So think about it, set your intentions, stand in front of that quantum door and know that this door opens outward. And I am going to count to 3. And on the count of 3, that door is going to open. And then you can jump out, you can run out, you can fly out, whatever it is that you want to do. But we're going to do that now. So just stand in front of the door. 1, 2. Oh, the door is opening just a crack. 3. The door is open, wide open. Take that trip out that door to fulfill your intention, and knowing that you can think about whatever you want to think about and it will manifest immediately for you. Do that now. have met a guide or your source self or probable selves or any other beings, it's time to thank them for showing up. And you can hug them. We're so grateful. So grateful. And you can tell them that you will join them again. And you can join them anytime you wish by setting your intentions just like we did before. So say your goodbyes. Thank you. And I love each and every one of you. And when you're ready, we're going to go back into our room. And again, I'm going to count to 3. And when I count to 3, on 3, you will be back inside your meditation room, and the quantum door will close, knowing full well that that door can be opened whenever you wish. So say your last goodbyes for now, and say, I'll see you again soon. 1, 2, 3. We're back in our room and the quantum door is closing. And let's just stay here and just, think about what just happened. My intention really was that we all had the best experience possible. And when I went off into that quantum door, it was like being in the void. And I could see the moon and I could see the stars. And before I knew it, you were all joining with me. And it was like Ring Around the Rosie. And we were all together in a circle holding hands. And that is what I experienced during my 5 minutes in the void past the quantum door. I love you all so much. Now I would like for us all to just take a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And start moving around. Stretch your body a little bit, wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes, coming back to the room in which we started at. Knowing that we can do this anytime we like. We can do it before we go to sleep and fall asleep in that beautiful space that our intentions are. Or we can do it upon awakening too. So whenever you feel like you want to do it, you can listen to this again, or you can do it on your own. It is so simple. The 3 to 1 count, 10 steps, and sometimes I just run down those steps. I don't do it slow. And you're in your meditation room. Your quantum door is always there for you. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful journey. Hi, everyone. Woo! So if anybody would like to, type out their comments about what they experienced, and, Mickey and Joe, you can share yours live. Terry just said, I like this. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Blessings that you were with us, Terry. Thank you so much. And if you want to share, that's fine. If it's very personal and you don't want to share, that's fine too. We just want to give everybody the opportunity. And if you don't share live, and I understand that, please take the time to journal it a little bit, because,
Yes.
this is a very very sacred time and a spiritual, personal time. And you might want to tell your left side of your brain what just happened.
Well, when you come back and read it a week from now, you're going to be surprised at the stuff you forgot.
Oh, that's
So
true too. Yeah,
write
absolutely.
it. Write it.
So how was that, Mickey? How did we do with the 3 times in and out?
I'm speechless.
Okay, good. All right. Well, you think about it. Audrey said, I was in Coney Island in the 70s where my ex lived.
Oh,
Very nice. Very nice, Audrey. So
interesting.
I didn't mention the past of this life, but that is also a very big possibility. That
Yeah.
if you wanted to relive something, if you wanted to relive and change something, that's the perfect opportunity to do it. Thank you, Audrey, for pointing that out. Terry said journaling sounds good. Okay, thank you, Terry. Thank you.
It does. It helps. I don't like to journal, but now Kate has gotten me to be an absolutely confirmed journaler. I'm journaling 4, 5, and 6 times a day.
Yeah.
Jot down the time and the thought, and then keep moving.
Yeah, I usually do it in the morning, but it really does help. And looking back, it
Yeah.
is, you forget things that,
You do.
Martin says, quite a huge experience this time. Could require a book to tell it.
Good.
Wow. Well,
I'd love to read a book you wrote. Ooh,
I would too. I would too, Yes. Yeah. I remember the first journey, Mickey, that you and I and Audrey and Martin were on, and
Yes.
we visited apartment 5 of the Seth house.
Yes. Oh
And
my gosh.
during a Seth session. I remember
Yes.
that. And Rob and Jane and Seth were all there.
That
And
was so strange.
it
Oh, yeah.
was, and everybody saw, different but similar things, and each one of us saw the others there. Like that was,
Yes. Yeah, that's what was so surprising. We
it
were all
was, it,
that
it
we had
was,
actually made contact on that side.
and considering nobody knew what anybody else was doing,
Right. Yeah.
it,
We
it,
didn't
and
even know each other.
it kind of, yeah. Okay. All right. Lee writes, OMG. Oh my God. That was incredible. Thank you. It was so much fun. I got to be at the marina. Peace and love to you, Kate. Thanks for all of you and everyone do to help to bring love to all. I'm feeling it. See you soon, dear friend. Oops, friends. Thank you, Lee. Lee is one of my Reiki students, and she's been a
Yeah.
friend for years and years and years. Love her to pieces. Terry says, I don't like to journal either, LOL. My intention has been to start. This is my motivation. Yes.
Good.
Yes, yes,
Good.
yes.
Because it does help. And you may not like it at first, but trust me, after about 2 weeks of getting used to you simply stop long enough to write down what crossed your mind, the thought and the
It
time.
grows on you.
And then you come back to it and read it 2 weeks later and it's, oh yeah, right. And you can finish writing it then.
Sure.
As long as you put down that it had crossed your mind.
Right.
And honey, the revelations of stuff that I had written and forgot, lessons that had come back to me to manifest, and I didn't remember that, oh yeah, that did manifest after I put it out there. You
Yeah.
completely forgot.
Sure.
Little things, little tiny things that led up to realizing that thing had come.
Yeah. Well, look at what I said about before that Reiki session. There was a couple of hours in between and I forgot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
after weeks, months, years, I think we're getting a storm. It is super windy out there. Anyway, I want to read some more. Carol said, I found myself kindly sending intrusive thoughts away so that my mind felt cleansed of those. That was new for me. Well, that sounds lovely. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh gosh,
beautiful.
that's a wonderful power to learn to cultivate.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
get better and better at it.
beautiful. And with each clearing, with each cleansing, it does give us renewed and more vitality even.
Yes, you get power over your own thoughts. You get power over anything coming toward you that you don't want. You just like badminton.
Yeah,
No, no, go away, go away.
exactly. Just poof, poof, poof away.
Yeah, and you don't dwell on the fact, oh, I had to do. No, you just pop.
Hmm.
No, no, not right now.
Right. Yep.
No. You get better and better at
I don't know where I was.
it. Well,
Well,
you look very powerful sitting there like that in all your rainbow nests. I thought, Rainbow Princess.
I don't know where I was. I was at my old house and I was at the beach. So I
Ooh,
don't know what any of that means.
okay.
it'll come out to
It
you
will.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Wonderful.
it'll unfold in your mind as the days go on. It could take up to a week
I'm
or
gonna
more.
have to journal out.
Absolutely. Let's get those journals out. And all of you that took Reiki from me, you all have journals.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. I give one in Reiki 1 and one in Reiki 2. And I'm sorry, Mickey, I did not send them to England.
Well, you've certainly gotten me into it, and I'm so grateful. I am so grateful.
I am too. You need to write those books, and
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
know
now
you.
I'm up to my eyebrows in two of them now. So
I love it. I love it. Let's see. Terry said, I like this. My past attempts to journal was goal oriented and never lasted more than a couple of days. Writing passing thoughts sounds awesome. Wonderful. Yeah.
yeah, that's nice.
And
That's
and
very
some people even get one of those little booklet things and just put it in
yes,
the purse. And so you have
exactly.
it with you, and you get one of those little pencils like they give at the golf places at the mini golf. You stick it in there so you always have a pencil. And then even if you're writing upside down, you don't run out of ink.
That's true.
Oh my gosh. We've been on for an hour, almost an hour and a half now. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
We're done good.
Yeah, we did.
But
Yeah,
that was so much stronger. By the time we hit the third one, I was anxious, like, okay, don't take it away yet. Now I want to sit in this. And now you said for the 5 minutes we spent in that meditation, on the other side of the quantum door.
mhm,
Come on, that wasn't 5 minutes, was it?
it was. It
Come
was.
on.
I opened my eyes up and I
I
peeked,
thought it
and
was
it was
about 15 or 20.
no, it was exactly 2:30 when we went into it. It was 2:35 when we came out.
You can't be serious.
At 2:35 is when I started describing that I saw all of you and we were all holding hands like Ring Around the Rosie.
And
So
just before you said that, that's what I saw. And I thought, oh, how silly of me to think we're all going to hold hands on the other side. And then you said it. And I was like, whoa.
and not only that, and I'm not saying anything about this, Martin, but we all had dresses on. So and you know what? And they were like colored rainbow dresses, like somebody, and they just
Uh-huh.
looked like bells. It was like people with
Yeah.
bells. We were holding
Yeah.
hands, and it was like a yellow bell and a pink bell and a blue bell and a green bell, and everybody looked like
Well,
bells.
see, the men that wear that are the twirling dervishes.
Oh, I saw them when I was in
Yes.
Egypt.
And
Yeah.
it's a very powerful sight. I like men in dresses very much, like the
Mhm.
Tuaregs in Africa, the different cultures, like
Well, look at
in
Scotland.
yeah, I love a man in a kilt. Ooh, we don't even
Listen to you. We won't talk about what they wear under that kilt.
yeah.
What is that?
Well, the only thing better than a man in a kilt is a man out of a kilt. So
Ah, that's a woman speaking that's been married to an well, not an Irish man, but a English man.
a
English.
Brit, yeah.
Brit, yeah. Nice. Oh, Audrey's laughing. LOL. Let's see. Terry also said, so she's starting to open up. Terry says, I was in the mountains nighttime and I saw an old man at the end. I seemed to feel he was like an old white-haired, long-bearded fisherman. No fear, just
Oh,
observation. And she was in, oh, she felt she was in hers a long time too. So
oh, that's
it
nice.
really was only 5 minutes though. And
That blew
you
my
know,
mind because it
it's
really felt
timeless.
like at least half an hour.
Yes,
Because I
no,
remember thinking, oh, good, she's giving us enough time this time. We're going to really have time. And I went back into what I was doing and I was flying all over the place.
yeah. But
Oh,
when we're there, time does open up. It is timeless
yes,
in that
yes, it
space.
is timeless. I
Yeah.
couldn't get over that. And
So Martin also said, sought to experience limitlessness and found
yeah,
myself going through unlimited space within the earth itself. Ooh,
oh,
that's something. Yeah.
Martin always has these absolutely wonderful images and things
He,
he goes to do.
he does. He's quite an amazing man. Yeah,
He's a busy man on the
he,
other side.
he is. He is. He is. Well, I hope everybody got all their comments, and if not, please still add them. And if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are listening to this after the live broadcast, please feel free to add more comments. I will put this on YouTube and you can also comment there. Please hit the like and subscribe, and then you know when I put these up. I don't know, I guess that's about it. We'll be back in about 2 weeks. So
Well, I was told to tell you. I
oh,
was told about 5 times because I wasn't saying anything. And before you go away, to just say when you were thanking the different people that were here and there and all over the place, and the message was very loud and in other dimensions.
oh,
Okay. You
yes.
have people, not just the one you're thinking of, but there are more than one person who is also aware of us meeting. Now, I don't know anything more about it than that, but I was told to tell you there
Okay.
are a lot of other people to thank on the other side in another dimension. Well, it said in other dimensions.
On other dimensions. Yeah. Well,
Uh-huh.
I'm
Okay.
I'm sure that maybe Jack might be one of those people. And
Yes, but he wanted to make sure I understood that it wasn't just him.
right. And I
He
think
has brought others with him now that he's been with us more than once.
but I
So now,
also think it might be Seth,
oh, that's interesting.
isn't it though?
That's very interesting. I have to chew on that.
Yeah, a little bit. The new moon is going to be August 16th, Wednesday. So I probably will schedule it for Tuesday, the 15th, so that
Okay.
we get those intentions before the height of the new moon. So it's at Wednesday, August 16th at 5:38 a.m. is when the height
Okay.
of the new moon is. So
And it's good that when we get together to do these, and it's not on the actual day at the actual hour, being
yes.
ahead slightly like this is
Mhm.
it feels a lot more powerful because I have plenty of time to put my thoughts in order and be ready.
Exactly,
I like
especially
that.
at the
It
new
feels
moon.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
I
yeah.
agree. So look for the next one around Tuesday, August 15th, around 1:30 again. We'll just make sure that we have no appointments that conflict and,
Right.
otherwise I'll adjust it. But that's tentatively, that's when we're gonna do it.
Yeah. And I go back to YouTube and rewatch, or sometimes I rewatch on Facebook, but I do tend to go more to YouTube and rewatch because it's been all edited and spruced up
It
and blah,
has.
blah, blah.
Oh, I want to ask people that question. For any of those that have watched, especially the last one or the last two, I have added a soundtrack
Music.
to the
Yeah.
meditations. Do you like it, or should I leave
Yeah.
it silent, or what do you think? You
I
like it?
like it.
Okay. All
I
right.
like it.
Okay.
It
I
added back something that we only have when we're together live. And when you added that, it put that back, so to speak. Whatever that vibe is, somehow with the editing you did, made that come back into it. I can feel it again
okay. All
of
right.
us all being there, you know. But there's something about us here live that is unbeatable.
Mhm.
I love it. I love it.
Too. I love all of you. And thank you to all the dimensions that were with us, and
Yes.
Jack, Seth, and Abraham, and Jesus, and Buddha, and Krishna, and I know
Yeah.
I'm forgetting a ton of them, but just thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone. Terry said she's going to watch it on YouTube and she will share her opinion with us. I
Okay.
probably will get it on later this evening because it has to do a whole lot of rendering and stuff, and then I have to do cutting and pasting and blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Lots of techie stuff, but I love doing it. So
Yeah, I usually go to it the next day.
and I try to get it on the very same day because I'd like it to be before the full moon really is.
Right, right.
So yeah, I'll try to get it on tonight. So
That was one of the most powerful ones we've done.
oh, she's gonna look at past ones. Okay.
Okay.
Great, Terry.
That one
Thank
had
you.
a different feel. That going in and coming out and going in and coming out. And then when you went in, you were like, let me stay in here.
There we are. Exactly. Now, for those of you that don't know, yes, it's on YouTube, but you can go to speakingwithkate.com and all the archives are
Yeah.
there. And the ones that say journey are the ones where we started creating our meditation room. Prior
Right.
to that, they were meditations and they were kind of all over the place. So we're
Mhm.
kind of doing a little bit of a theme now. And
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's powerful and I love doing it. And I am so grateful for each and every one of you that joins us and that watches later on and that might watch it a second time. I actually did the meditation, the last one. It's the first time I ever did it. And it was more powerful
Yeah.
listening to it than doing it for
Been
myself.
doing, yes. Yeah. It's lovely. It's really, it's building up. There's a certain thing about being in that space that is building up. And I feel it more powerful each time. And I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
That sense of being in that creation space.
Mhm.
Don't forget, people, that you can bring all kinds of toys in there, quote unquote. Like I said, I have my and it is so pills that reinforce whatever I say is going to be. Then I take the pill and it is so. It's like when Picard says, "Make it so."
There, yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah,
That change where people disappear.
I've done cord cutting in there, and
Okay.
that was a whole nother story. That was crazy. Yeah. Terry says she's thrilled that she started today. So
Yes, I
I'm
am
thrilled
too.
that you joined us.
I am. Yes, I'm tickled.
I-
Oh,
yeah, this is
that
wonderful.
feels lovely.
Well, I think it's time for us to sign off. It's an hour and a half almost. It's 2:58 here. And I don't want to take up any more of anybody else's time, but I love you all so much. I look so forward to these every 2 weeks.
I do too.
Thank you.
I love you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just
Bye,
enjoy.
bye
Bye.
everybody. Love you all.